Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will have a debate between Team A as the affirmative team and Team B as the opposite team. Besides that, let me introduce myself. I am Faradi Fariski Permata as your moderator. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start our debate today, let me introduce you to each team. On the left side, the affirmative team, they have Sinta Emilia as the first speaker and Miftachul Ary Any as the second and the third speaker. On the other side, the opposite team, they have Imania Nola as the first speaker, Shofie Rosdah Aini as the second and the third speaker. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to show you about today's motion. The topic for today's debate is that House believes that Facebook has done more harm than good as today's motion. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's start our debate. So each team has finished up the building and now they are ready to debate. So I will call the first speaker from the affirmative team to deliver the opinion. For the first speaker of the affirmative team, time is yours.
Good morning, Chairperson, Opposition, and audience. The topic for today's debate is that this House believes that Facebook has done more harm than good. We, the government team, believe that this statement is true. We agree with the definition given by the affirmative team because there are many kidnappings, fraud, and hoax that occur on Facebook. I will be speaking about Facebook makes user addicted, crimes that occur on Facebook. Facebook makes someone antisocial. Our second speaker will be talking about Facebook is where fake news and prostitution gather. The spread of personal data on Facebook should be banned. And our third speaker will be summarizing up our team case and reporting the argument put forward by affirmative team. My first point is anyone using this as make Facebook abuse. Facebook is become a very popular medium for interacting between users. People easily share their moment in the form of photo or video, create status, comment, find friends, discuss to buying and selling activity. Not a few people think that interacting on Facebook is much more fun than having a meet person. Some Facebook users think that Facebook has become part of their daily life. Our daily activity are never spared from Facebook. Every day, every hour, even every few minutes, they open Facebook to view their homepage and incoming notification. Please note that if the intensity of using Facebook is out of control, it can lead on to Facebook addiction. Facebook addiction is known as FID, which stands for Facebook Addiction Disorder. Facebook Addiction Disorder is a term used for those whose life cannot be spared from Facebook. Those who have been affected by FID will be actions and results. Time that should be used from productive activity. For example, a psychologist, Dr. Michael Pineso, wrote his view on Facebook addiction disorder on his personal website, pinnacle.com, with the title Facebook Addiction Disorder, a New Challenge. The state explained that FID is a situation to use of Facebook cause someone to forget their daily activity. In addition, Dr. Penikel also explained that FID can be harmful of social life, work, and interpersonal interacting. My second point is crime that occur on Facebook. With the development of the world of technology, the the more spread of few models of crime on Facebook. These include fraud, hoax, and kidnappings. Many cases are caused by the crime of Facebook. The spread of information that is not necessarily true in the irresponsible people on Facebook cause a lot of unrest by the public and also a lot of hate speech that is hurled on by the irresponsible people. Ronnie, July 2021, upload a new title fraud tick on Facebook sending some money. In the news, it is explained that if there is a fraud, the Julian by model sending some money to the victim. Then the perpetrator admit that the has sent the wrong money, then asks for the serial number of the preparation account and takes money from the victim account. My third point is Facebook makes someone antisocial. Facebook makes someone antisocial because, in fact, someone who spend more time in cyberspace tend to have an antisocial attitude or is not interested in interesting or socializing with the people around him. The example is there is a book that's key in Facebook. The author is Shiva Vaidyanathan, who wrote the book titled Antisocial Media, How Facebook Disconnect US and Undermines Democracy. This book that published by Oxford University Press in 2018. A few of the book is available in the Compass Daily July 27, 2019 edition, which was written by Santi Indra Astuti, a lecturer in Bandung. Santi straightforwardly exposed the antisocial paradox that was actually part of using a tool called social media. Chairman, opposition, and audience, in the conclusion, I emphasize that happens if we use Facebook. It is make Facebook have more negative things.
Well, thanks for the first speaker of the affirmative team. Next, I will call the first speaker of the opposite team to deliver their opinion. Time is yours.
Good morning, Chairperson, Opposition, and audience. The topic for today's debate is this House believe that Facebook has done more harm than good. We of opposite team believe that this statement is false. We disagree with the definition given by affirmative. Facebook has become the largest social networking site today. There are so many benefits of Facebook that we can use. I was speaking about Facebook is a learning tool, easy to communication and easy for entrepreneurs. Our second speaker will be talking about Facebook is very easy to use. Facebook connected with WhatsApp and Instagram, and Facebook can make friends according to their hobbies or needs. Our third speaker will be summing up our team case and reviewing the argument put forward by affirmative team. The speaker of the affirmative team has tried to tell that the point is free for anyone using this app make Facebook abuse. This is wrong because in that there are some people who are addicted to social media, especially Facebook. But this can also mean that the person determines his confidence on social media. Researchers at Harvard University connected people to functional MRI machine to expose social media addict and see what happened when they talk about themselves. A number of doctors also observed symptoms of anxiety, depression, and some psychological disorder in someone who spent too much time on social media. However, there is a little evidence that social media or internet can use cause this symptom. She also tried to tell its crime that occur on Facebook. Facebook is already has a feature to remove suspicious things. If user finds something suspicious, they can select the report status feature and categorize the hoax information as hate speech, harassment, abusive, threatening, or other appropriate categories, and delete the status. On Facebook, there are a number of fan page and anti-hoax discussion of groups, such as the Anti-Slander, Hasut, and Hoax Forum FFH. She also tried to tell Facebook makes someone antisocial. This is also wrong because socializing is a process of interaction with various things, the purpose of which be involved in society. In the socialization process in question, social media is designed as one of the socialization against. Facebook research director David Ginsburg said, at the Facebook, we employ renowned social psychologists, social scientists, psychologists, and academy to find ways to make Facebook a place where we can contribute positively. In research of Muhammad Tamihudin and Estina Ikawati with the little exposition of the use of online social networks in learning, the state that the student enthusiasm who also sit in the group that we are already available on one of the exciting social network. Facebook, which is the EduFest group, with this social network, students exchange opinions, share experience, and share information both relate to education and others. This shows that the group can be used maximally in learning. My second point is the use of social media make it easy communicate, but with friend and family, which is not possible through face to face because of the distance factor. We can send the required information easily and quickly, as well as accessing the information we need. We meet many friends or family who have not seen each other for a long time through social media. Facebook, social media can be used as means to share, exchange photo, data, and other documents. Social media can also be used as means of promotion with the various product or service that we can offer to social media user without having to incur large costs but with the multiple benefits. And my third point is the rapid growth of internet user is a potential of company to move forward. It's running a business of in today's digital era. Facebook can also be used as media campaign, that has a function as a strategic policy maker, which has various programs or policies that must be disseminated to the public. PT Kereta Api Indonesia actively maintains engagement with consistent and active social media content updates. On social media, PT Kereta Api Indonesia consumers actively comment on service, make complaints, question about the products, and provide suggestions. PT Kereta Api Indonesia use the concept on cognitive attachment. Chairperson, opposition, and member of audience. In conclusion, Facebook is an online media whereas user can easily participate, share, create content, or write. This certainly makes it easier to provide various information for various age. Thank you.
Well, thanks for the second speaker of the affirmative team. Next, I will call the second speaker from opposite team to give the rebuttal from the second argument of the affirmative team. Time is yours.
Yes, thank you for the time. Uh, Good morning, Chairperson, opposition, and audience. The topic for today's debate is that this House believes that Facebook has done more harm than good. We, the government team, believe that this statement is true. The first speaker of the opposite has tried to tell there are some people who are addicted to social media, especially Facebook. But it can also mean that person determined his confidence in social media. This is wrong. If someone feels themselves more confident on Facebook, it will make that person antisocial and cannot get along in the real life. And then the second point, she tried to tell you that Facebook already has a feature to remove suspicious things. If users find something suspicious, they can select the report status feature and categorize the hoax information as hate speech or harassment or abusive or threatening or other appropriate categories and delete the status. I don't think this is right because Facebook only deletes things that contain things like photos and statuses but for private chat, Facebook let it happen. The third point is she also tried to tell you socialization is a process of interacting with various things, the purpose of which is to be involved in society. This is also wrong because Facebook makes someone dare to socialize on social media but not in real life. This makes someone have a brave mentality on social media but fear in real life. Today, I will be talking to you about Facebook is where fake news and prostitutes gather. The spread of personal data on Facebook, Facebook should be banned. My first point is Facebook is where hoax gather. Facebook users are average adulthood and teenager which they believe on everything that planet in their mind. Hoax can spread fast on Facebook because the social media has more than 2.2 billion user base. With such a large user base, it is easy for fake news to spread quickly online. Any fake news can be spread to thousands of social media users and commented on in an equally large number. A hoax, for example, is a hoax about COVID released for a few weeks ago, and people tend to believe the hoax just because it's what they might believe. Another reason hoaxes develop on social media is the habit of users who do not read the upload or shared content in its entirety. In a daily social survey, 4.48% of respondents admitted that they only read the title. It was also recorded that 22.39% of respondents did not even have the attention to read the uploaded or shared content. My second point is the spread of personal data on Facebook. Facebook is actually a dangerous place for our personal data. Facebook doesn't have end-to-end encrypted system, which means another person could steal your information and sell it to companies or on the dark web. This was proven in 2018, where almost 50 million accounts are exposed due to coding failure. This happened again in April 2021, where numbers of accounts data were exposed. It was around 533 million data. Let's just say your phone number has spread everywhere. You could be called or sent a short message by people you don't know, and they will contact you continuously every day to offer certain products or services to you by force or even with certain threats. That's all. Wait, I still have my third point. My third point is Facebook should be banned. Often in the form of hatred, slander, hoax news, pornography, fraud teaching, or radicalism online, gambling, and other bad content, which is very dangerous if users continue to be exposed to such content. Especially if it's seen that the most Facebook users are teenagers, they will certainly be easily carried away by a negative current such as bad content as both. There were several scandals concerning the network's creators sharing information. Reportedly, they sold personal information of users to certain companies. The network's creators argued that users shared their information, so it meant the information was not confidential. Likewise, almost anyone can find some personal information and use it. Chairman, opposition, and member of the audience. In conclusion, also some claim that Facebook is a useful communication tool. It should be banned because it has too many negative consequences. Crimes and societal unruly can increase. It also affects the personal lives of users as it negatively affects relationship in real life. Thank you.
Well, thanks for the second speaker of the affirmative team. Next, I will call the second speaker from opposite team to give the rebuttal from the second argument of affirmative team. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Chairperson, Opposition, and audience. The topic for today's debate is that this House believes that Facebook has done more harm than good. We, the negative team, believe that this statement is false. The second speaker of the affirmative has tried to tell you if someone feels themselves more confident on Facebook, it will make that person antisocial and cannot get along in the real life. This is wrong because it all depends on each user. If they can share time for social media with real life and directly interact with people around them, then they will not feel antisocial. And she tries to tell you this. She don't think this is right because Facebook only delete things that contain things like photos and status. But for private, can Facebook let it happen? This is wrong because if a user finds fraud via chat, then there is feature to report the account. The Facebook will take appropriate action, for example, offering assistance, removing contents, blocking access to certain feature, deactivating an account, or connecting law enforcement. The third point, she also tried to tell the Facebook make someone dare to socialize on social media but not in real life. This makes someone have a brief mentally on social media but fear in real life. This is wrong because Facebook can expand the relationship, make it easier to get information that will be used in social life. Moreover, the use of social media has penetrated almost all layers and groups, both government officials, businessmen, traders, users, students, and etc. This, of course, will make socializing in the community easier. Today I will talking to you about Facebook is very easy to use. Facebook connected with WhatsApp and Instagram. Facebook can make friends according to their hobbies or needs. My first point is that using Facebook is very easy. As time goes by, Facebook social media is very broad and everyone can use it easy. And one application that is very easy to use is Facebook. Why is that? Because features provide have good and convenient update. If the use of Facebook is felt to be detrimental, then it all goes back to the user. Then it all goes back to users. If users who understand good and bad, they will not harm themselves by looking for bad things. They will use Facebook according to what is good for them. My second point is Facebook connected with WhatsApp and Instagram. Facebook is the parent of WhatsApp and Instagram, so all Instagram and WhatsApp information can be synchronized. One of them is connect that can be shared one of them is connect that can be shared with each other, so that can share various benefit and good information for fellow human beings. Facebook can be a medium for sharing photos, video, and other interesting experience and information easy and quickly. And my third point is Facebook can make friends according to their hobbies or needs. Every human being must have their own pleasure, like a hobby that is often done by every individual, and with Facebook, those who have the same hobbies and interests from various regions will meet enjoying each other in Facebook group friendship. So it will be more fun when doing hobbies with friends or the same person. This can connect strong keeps kins ties, so help each other to reach their goals and solve problems together. And my closing statement is, in conclusion, Facebook will be useful if used for positive things. It all depends on the use and supervising of parents. Thank you.
Thanks for the second speaker of the opposite team. That's a good opinion. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, next I will call the third speaker of affirmative team to deliver the conclusion. Time is yours.
Okay, I will summarize my team's point. The first argument is my first speaker spoke to you about Facebook has an addictive effect on someone, wants to make the intensity on Facebook users out of control. Those who are addicted will feel anxious and restless if they do not open Facebook within a certain time. This is certainly dangerous. Time that should be used for productive activities but only spent playing Facebook. She also spoke to you about crime often happens on Facebook and the many more types of the crime. Not a few people suffered losses and some even lost their families because they were kidnapped. Because of Facebook, criminals become easy to find victims. The final point that she spoke to you about was someone who has been addicted to using Facebook tends to lock himself at home and is reluctant to socialize directly. This makes Facebook users become someone who is antisocial. Those who are too comfortable using Facebook will find it difficult to make friends in real life. I'm summarizing my second speaker. My second speaker spoke to you about as there are many unreliable news, they can lead users in a negative direction and often panic users because of the hoaxes on Facebook. She also spoke to you about Facebook lets other people know about our personal data. Other people easily find our personal data on Facebook. This makes our personal data easily spread on Facebook. The final point that she spoke to you about was the many negative things that happen on Facebook and harm a lot of people. Facebook should be banned so that there are no more victims of negative things on Facebook. Chairman, opposition, and members of the audience, in conclusion, our team is strongly convinced that Facebook has done more harm than good, because in fact, there are a lot of negative impacts and disadvantages when using Facebook. Thank you.
Well, that's the conclusion of the affirmative team. Next, I will call the third speaker of the opposite team to deliver the conclusion. Time is yours.
Okay, summary for my team. My first speaker spoke to you about Facebook, which in the EduFest group. With the social network, students exchange opinions, share experience, and share information both related to education and others. This shows that the group can be used maximally in learning. And she spoke to you about the use of social media make it easy to communicate both with friends and family, which is not possible through face-to-face because of the distance factor. So we can send the required information easy and quickly, as well as in encryption the information we need. And she spoke to you about West Facebook can also be used a media campaigns that has a function as a strategic policy maker. which has various programs or policies that must be disseminated to the public. And the second speaker spoke to you about as time goes by, social media is very broad and everyone can be easy. And one application that is very easy to use is Facebook. Facebook is the parent of WhatsApp and Instagram, so all Instagram and WhatsApp information can be synchronized. One of them is connected that can be shared with each other. And Facebook can make friends according to their hobbies or needs. Every human being must have their own pleasure. With Facebook, with hobbies, friendships. So in conclusion, our team is strongly convinced that Facebook also has benefit for every user. In fact, there are many benefits that Facebook has, especially in the modern era. Of course, the benefits of Facebook are increasingly felt. Thank you.
Well, thanks for the conclusion from the opposite team. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all our debate today. Thanks for your attention and see you.